In this video I'll show you how to best progress in Bizarre Lineage on Roblox after the latest update. Subscribe, like, hype if you want to get this, more Roblox guides and enter giveaways. Watch till the end to understand this guide well. I'll tell you how to progress through Bizarre Lineage from the very beginning all the way to endgame because this game has a lot of layered systems, and if you go in blind you are going to feel lost pretty fast. The good news is that once you understand the structure of how everything connects, the whole journey from early game to raids and PvP becomes way more manageable. Starting with the very first thing you should do when you load in. Head straight to bus stop 15, find the Kemu Market, and go talk to the Kendo Master inside. This immediately hands you a katana and you can start farming enemies and knocking out quests right from that point. No complicated setup required, just go there first and get that weapon. As you fight enemies and level up you will earn stat points, and knowing where to put them early is really important because stat point resets are genuinely hard to come by, so you want to invest carefully from the start. The stats available are health, which determines your HP pool, strength for melee damage, power for sub-ability damage, weapon for weapon attack power, destructive power for stand melee attacks, and destructive energy for stand energy attacks. Even if you are running a sword setup in the early game, the real endgame power comes from stands, so you want to start putting your stat points into health, destructive power, and destructive energy early to future-proof your build. A sword build can get you through the early phase, but it will not come close to what a properly built stand setup can do later on. Sub-abilities and advanced fighting styles are not something you need to stress about immediately either. They matter a lot in endgame, but you will have time to get to them naturally. Stands are the most important combat system in the whole game, and most of your build crafting will revolve around them. You get stands by using consumable items called stand arrows and lucky arrows, which you can find through code redemptions, random world pickups, chest openings, boss battle rewards, and raid shops. For a beginner, the raid shop is actually the most reliable source, but raid battles are tough when you are new, so focus on the other methods first. The best stand to aim for early is Anubis. It is a rare rarity stand, which means it does not take many arrow attempts to get, and it deals bleed damage with strong area control, making it very solid for the early and mid-game. Other good early options are Killer Queen, Weather Report, and Golden Experience if Anubis does not come through quickly. Subscribe to this channel if you want to join the giveaway. Check the links in the video description and write what you would like to get from this game. When you get a stand, it is not at full power right away. Stands have their own leveling system, and you increase their level through stand conjuration. You farm stand conjuration by defeating enemies, which is the main method, or through a consumable called stand conjuration essence, which is rare enough that enemy farming is basically the default approach. Make sure you are always checking your stand's perks because these passive abilities directly improve your performance. You can equip up to 4 perks at a time through the stand information screen. Anubis, for example, benefits from perks like the Blade, Resourceful, Brute Force, and Line Tension. If you want to switch stands or save one for later, you can store it through the stand information menu and get it back whenever you want. Stand storage capacity can be expanded later through Prestige. For leveling up in the early game, start by following the Discover Quest series, which will carry you to around level 10 comfortably. Once you hit that point, shift your focus to mini-bosses and world events because they are significantly faster for XP than regular quests at that stage. Mini-bosses are tough enemies that spawn at fixed locations, and defeating them drops valuable loot, XP, and stand conjuration all at once. The best one to farm early is Okuyasu Nijimura Prime, who hangs out near a gas station close to bus stop 9. He gives a big chunk of XP and stand conjuration per kill, which can level your stand multiple times in one go, and he respawns after just a couple of minutes, so you can keep re-challenging him on a tight loop. He is not particularly difficult either, which makes him perfect for this stage. Keep farming mini-bosses until you are around level 25 to 30. PvE mission boards are available, and they give money and XP for simple objectives, but do not rely on them as your main leveling method because mini-bosses are just way more efficient, and give better rewards on top of that. PvP mission boards should be completely ignored until your build is fully finalized because going in with an unfinished build is just going to be a frustrating experience that does not help you progress. Once you are around level 30, it is time to start working toward a proper finalized build. This is when you need to start thinking about stand stat distribution and stand personalities on top of the perks you are already running. You should also start aiming for higher rarity stands like the World or Silver Chariot Requiem to set yourself up for the endgame. Every stand comes with a randomized stat spread across strength, speed, and specialty, which determines how it performs in different situations. If the spread is not ideal, you can reroll it using consumables called stand stat essences. Stands also have personalities, which are passive abilities that activate under specific conditions. Some of them are minor additions, and some completely change how your stand plays. You can reroll those too using stand personality essences. Finding the right mix of stats, personalities, and perks is the core of late-game build crafting, and you can layer all of that on top of fighting style and sub-ability passives plus gear stat bonuses. As a reference point for what a strong post-update 1 PvE build can look like, here is a solid example. The stand is Silver Chariot Requiem with a stat spread focused on health and destructive energy with some points in destructive power. The sub-ability is Vampire, the fighting style is Muay Thai, and the personality is Transcendent. Stand stats favor strength and specialty, and the perks are Line Tension, King of Flames, My Only Objective, and Ignition Boost. Gear adds bonuses to HP, attack power, defensive power, and regeneration, among other things, and while gear is the last piece of the puzzle, you want to have it sorted before you push into the actual endgame. With your build ready, you move into endgame content, which is raids and PvP. Raids are boss battles with a gimmick or two involved, and they are much easier to approach than PvP for most players. The Avdo raid is the easiest one, and is designed for players around level 15, but beyond maybe buying a specific perk from its shop, it is not worth farming as a main activity. At level 40 and above, you can start taking on the full range of raid boss battles available. If you die during a raid, it only lowers your rank. It does not force you to restart from scratch, which takes a lot of the pressure off. Raid shops carry some of the most powerful perks in the game, so grinding the tokens to buy them is worth the effort. Certain exclusive stand upgrades like the World Over Heaven, Death 13, and Planet Waves can only be unlocked through raid content, so pushing raids is not optional if you want access to the best stands in the game. When you hit max level, which is level 50, you have the option to Prestige. Prestige resets your character level, fighting style, sub-ability, and main story progress in exchange for an extra stand storage slot, 5 Prestige shards, and some regular resources. Prestige can be done multiple times, which means Prestige shards are farmable over time. After you have handled the PvE side of things, you can start getting into PvP. The meta in Bizarre Lineage is genuinely diverse, so you will run into a huge variety of different builds and play styles. Players move completely differently from PvE enemies, so the neutral game in PvP takes some time to adjust to. Do not get discouraged by early losses, because figuring out neutral is literally half of the endgame skill ceiling, and it just takes reps to get there. Let me run through everything one final time with fresh wording so it is all locked in. Your first move when you start is Bus Stop 15, Keinu Market, Kendo Master for the Katana. Invest your stat points into health, destructive power, and destructive energy early, because resets are scarce and a stand-focused build is your long-term goal. Get stands through arrows from codes, chests, boss drops, and raid shops. Aim for Anubis first, since it is rare rarity and strong for early content, and level it up by grinding stand conjuration from enemies. Equip 4 perks through the stand information screen and store extra stands there to manage your collection. Follow Discover quests to level 10, then grind Okuyasa Nijimura Prime near Bus Stop 9 for big XP and stand conjuration on a fast respawn loop until you hit level 25 to 30. Use PvE mission boards for side money but not as your main XP source, and skip PvP mission boards entirely until your build is complete. Around level 30, start targeting the World or Silver Chariot Requiem and sort out your stand stats with stat essences, stand personalities with personality essences, and layer your perks, fighting style passives, sub-ability bonuses, and gear on top for the full build. At level 40 plus, run raids for the best perks, exclusive stands like the World Over Heaven, Death 13, and Planet Waves, and keep pushing until level 50, where Prestige opens up for extra stand storage and Prestige shards. Once PvE is handled, jump into PvP, get used to how neutral works against real players, and keep refining your game from there.